Welcome back to Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat. I'm Jason.
This is Alex.
This is Dennis. This is Dooley.
And we have Flying Dog.
Flying Dog.
Flying Dog.
Flying Dog. Jason from Flying Dog Brewery. Come on, man.
What's going on?
You don't. We did that just to throw you off.
I came in prepared for anything with you guys.
All right,
That
and we're
is
gonna
good.
jump right into it because it's a little warm out today. So we need.
That's what cold beer is for.
That's
Cheers.
what exactly what it's for. So we're gonna jump right in and let's talk about Flying Dog, man. You want to give us the rundown?
What you want, like a little history lesson?
Yeah, a little
first?
history lesson.
Let's-
Let's. We want to know what Flying Dog is about. We've had the beers.
It's
We're
about
big
great
fans.
beer, man.
I'm a fan.
Now, Flying Dog, a lot of people don't realize this is actually our 30th anniversary year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we started in 1990 in Aspen, Colorado, Woody Creek area. Started there about 94. Opened up a little brewery, a brew pub more for 30 barrels to kind of up the production. Spent a little time out there, obviously, and in 2006 purchased Frederick Brewing Company in Frederick, Maryland, and started. We were one of the first breweries brewing on both coasts at the time. And in 2008, kind of had a decision to make about out west. As y'all know, craft beer in Colorado is kind of a thing.
What?
So,
Who would have thought that?
So in those 2 years, we had brewed more beer here than we ever did out there. So being the opportunity to be one of the first on the East Coast to, set up roots, we decided to shut everything down out there and maintain focus out here. And in 2008, that happened, and ever since then, we've kind of just been running the gauntlet.
How long have you been with Flying Dog?
I started January 1st of last year, so year
This
and a
sounds like
half.
stats. I just want to say, like, he's got the date. Now, granted, January 1st is pretty easy to remember, but
That's probably the only reason I remember the exact date. It was like new year, new day, boom, let's go.
New job.
Yeah. So new challenge.
so is there anything new coming up from Flying Dog? Any new beers? Anything that you're allowed to talk about? I feel like you might have some inside secrets.
No, we're allowed to talk about anything. So since putting a rep in the market, they kind of opened the floodgates to all the latest, greatest shiny toys and us able to get everything down here like we have up in Maryland for the most part. So there's always one or two seasonals coming a month, limited releases, stuff like that. We obviously have like a mainline seasonal that rotates every 4 in a year for the season. Lucky SOB during St. Patty's time. Coming to this year was pool hopping. It'll rotate into like Dogtoberfest.
It was delicious,
K9.
by the way.
Yeah,
Which one?
We're gonna have
Pool hopping
a
was
debate over that one later.
Ooh, come on. I got numbers. You like stats? I got some for you. Now that beer has been tremendous. We went through our whole forecast for the summer in less than 10 weeks.
Nice.
We had to brew a whole nother batch just to ride that wave as well.
You hear that, Jason?
So, but yeah,
All right, man. I'm allowed to have my own damn opinion.
can you turn his mic off?
You're gonna fit in well, sir.
Right?
It's like you belong here.
I want some more damn milk. Was it the
Nah.
cookies and cookies and milk?
Yeah, the cookies and cream stout.
Yeah, that stuff was delicious, brother.
So that's actually part of our. We do what's called a brewhouse rarity line, which Flying Dog every year has a summit, kind of a little get together up in the mountains of Maryland, and every employee gets to present beers. You can present 1 to 10 in however many you want, but you got to get up in front of everybody with your sales pitch.
Yeah.
And it was actually my most favorite event my first year because you kind of got to see everybody in their element, the brew team to the sales guys to the upper management that even present to this one group of big bosses that decide the future of those ideas. But it's pretty neat to watch. Like, I've always been a salesman my whole life, whether it be distributor, now this. So to see like the brew team get up there and they've got it measured to the cups, to the ounces of every ingredient, when they want it staged, put into the brew process and so on. And then you get us little witty smartasses that are just like, let's put Raging Bitch in a wine barrel and call it Whiny Bitch. Or we have concepts. But,
I feel like that was a definite conversation somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like that actually happened.
that might have been a free for all.
Was
kind
it
of thing.
yours?
No. I might have yelled that part, but it wasn't my. I didn't lead in with that. But nah, so Cookies and Cream is opened up the year this year as our opening brew house rarity. Dead Rise was a brew house rarity. Numero Uno brew house rarity. So many others.
Flying Dog. Like, speaking of beer, man, let's get one.
All right, which one?
Surprise us.
Yeah, surprise us.
So
Yeah, tell us about it. Like, let's drink it and talk about it. And that's what we do.
I'm gonna start off with this one a little bit. Y'all gotta.
Yeah, we got it. I got you a sleeve, sir.
Oh man,
Right
we got six of us.
We are prepared.
So
we kind of partake in the
obviously,
alcoholic thing.
obviously, I've known you for a little while, Jason. So you know
I remember when you worked for
Chess
Bay.
Yeah. So this beer. So this actually is a brew house. Technically, kind of was a brew house rarity. When I first started last year, there was a controller by the name of Gerald. When I say controller, that was kind of my person I work with directly at the brewery for inventory and forecast, getting beer brought down. You know, that's who we go back and forth with. You know, they project off numbers, and we kind of talk about what's coming in the market, what we have going on, to where we're all on the same page. It was about Marchish. He unexpectedly passed away overnight. So this was something he had been working on for his brewhouse rarity pitch in April, and when the brewers took it, kind of got a hold of it, cleaned it up a little bit, did this big thing. We did a festival, brewed this beer. The employees got to dry hop the first time. It's a hazy pale ale. So we took kind of a lot of things we learned from Thunderpeel and everything, and kind of did a big festival in his honor. So cheers to G, real quick.
Cheers.
You know? So this one's kind of holds a spot in all of our hearts just because he was such a good dude and good person. And
It is super
they
clean.
came out.
Got it very
Oh
clean.
my god! Like,
Oh shit! It's actually called Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. That is.
So when they did it in May, we did a festival, released it again in the fall into winter in draft only, and kind of gave his family some proceeds.
Yeah.
And now then they had Stedman do the artwork for him, and kind of here we go.
That's a good topic.
Yeah, it's a great segue, sir.
Actually, it was Ken Castelli on that one. Sorry. that did that artwork.
We
But
wanted
still,
to talk. We did like cheers to G, but we did want to talk about the Flying Dog artwork.
Okay.
So like I know you have like you have an artist that does all your work, right?
So just to backdate a little bit, everybody know who Hunter S. Thompson is, the famous writer, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and
Yes.
so on. So he actually lived on the property owned by our founder, one of our founders, George Stranahan, and obviously through a relationship and time and so on, ended up having a part of Flying Dog. Hence the Good Beer No Shit came from Hunter S. Thompson, some other stuff like that. His partnership he had worked with Ralph Steadman with his time at I think Sports Illustrated, Rolling Stones, some stuff like that. They had worked together artistically, and kind of got him to be able to do some artwork for us. And his first piece that we really did was Road Dog, and then the Doggy Style, where we stole the infamous Flying Dog wings from. That was about 90 or 95, I think it was. Don't quote me on that.
I like how you look down at your knee like the answer was written on your lap.
Stop looking at my legs, Jason.
He's got his cheat sheet down there. Just pulled his shorts up and.
None of y'all are going to look at my waist. But nah, and ever since then, majority of the beer, pretty much anytime we get a concept, I'm told, you give him too much of a leeway. He's like, you already kind of know what you want, and he'll pass on making the labels. But he makes so many of our iconic labels that we all know and love. And just within the last few years, our marketing team has gotten a hold of a 4,000 plus archive of artwork photos. That they can kind of just peruse and, with the ideas and beers coming and everything. And one of the first beers you saw is actually going to match that flag. It was on Mayamo Mole Stout last year. It's got this desert scene, kind of colorful.
I remember that stuff.
That was a brew house rarity.
Yeah, that was a damn good beer too.
That was the woman that runs our QA lab, Emily. That was her concept on a beer. And that was a great one for us. So they're now able to kind of look at that archive and pull stuff as they wish through there. Which one I'll show you. Oh, I don't have it on me.
But
actually, we'll get Dooley on that. Dooley, Google Vicious Hook Fruit Punch Sour.
I'm so stoked that he's like, Dooley, Google this shit.
it's like he belongs here.
I see he's been throwing stuff up there. I saw he somehow got a hold of the Biggie Talls, which
if you could only see the search history on my fucking internet
Yeah,
browser.
it's Alex's.
Is that a
Google?
different podcast though? Hold on.
That comes on Thursday late.
Vicious Hook Fruit Punch Sour. See if it's up there.
You should have probably led with Flying Dog.
True.
There it is.
Or spelled vicious, right? Yeah.
Damn, speak the text.
Oh,
Oh, they got a cut. Oh, I love how they have the cup on the cover so you can't see it.
Like it's kicked at a bar.
Yeah, like it's perfect, man. Like,
while he's looking,
Page
basically
kick.
this one's really.
Wow.
So we actually got to sample it. This is one of the beers coming. I'll tell you all that in a little while, but it's coming at the end of July, and it's basically it was a brew house rarity that had so much buzz about it, and took one person saying it feels like somebody punched you in the mouth. And our marketing team, I guess, there was a photo used back in the 70s during the Rumble in the Jungle from the Muhammad Ali fight. And it's going to be on the bottle.
oh, right.
The Rumble in the Jungle.
I like how I do like how they had it kicked with the cup over the so
yeah.
you can't see the label.
Now, just out of curiosity, Jason, I know, like, was it? I think it was like last year or the year before that you had a Carolina Reaper beer.
Actually, I've never had that. That was a few years ago. It was like a peach base, I hear,
Yeah.
with the Carolina Reaper.
Oh, I remember that.
That beer is
Yeah.
widely talked about.
I've never been able to try it, and I'm like the one that eats all the hot.
I think it
hottest
was
stuff, so it's
the
like,
next year. I think they went to the jalapeno instead.
Yeah.
Like,
So they had one we were testing at the brewery before all this happened called 7 Pot that was full of peppers that was getting some rave reviews.
7 Pot. That's a pepper right there by itself.
speaking
7
of
Pot.
peppers,
I wanted to ask him, man. Like,
Yeah, that was it. That peach
Yeah.
IPA. So I had the jalapeno white. I've had the Paradise Lager one.
Yeah.
No, that was the only 2 out of those I tried.
so are they planning on bringing it back?
So
It looks like there's like a seasonal kind of rotation there.
That's one of those that the marketing team and the sales team talk about during our town halls and stuff that people ask about a lot. So I don't know how much y'all followed in the past year, but we did a family drama 12-pack last November during the holidays, kind of a
That's a perfect,
high
That's
octane.
a perfect marketing right there.
if there was a
perfect.
variety pack, sir,
It was-
we have drank it.
There you go. So that kind of the success of stuff like that led into what you see this year. We did that brunch pack this year, which was off
I
the
saw
wall
that.
flavors. That thing was a huge hit. They did that cinnamon toast crunch beer that was phenomenal. The Bloody Mary ale, the mimosa, and then Cujo obviously. And then that led into SPF success last summer, kind of sparked that, and then following through all that. So there's ideas. I saw when y'all were looking earlier, y'all might have saw that Stay the Fuck Home pack.
Yeah.
Basically that
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
that and kind of Biggie Talls came a pack. We're not going to get Biggie Talls down here though. We are getting the Stay the Fuck Home. It'll be here actually Friday and
Question:
hitting Total Wines.
Can you get Biggie Tolls?
I might know some people.
Maybe if we can get one bottle or a can to
Well,
review.
it's just the same beers. That's all the same beers. It's just us working on.
packaging.
We've got to get some liquid out. So that's a night in a box right there.
Oh damn!
8.7, 10%, and 12.
Ooh, I want to try the Gonzo.
I think it's time for another round.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Okay.
And
I want to try Gonzo. Yes,
while we're
yes.
on you acting like
Don't
a
worry, we'll
sales
not
rep,
better.
So I can get you some Gonzo. We brought that in as a seasonal last year. We carry pearl necklace in this market. We are the largest pearl necklace market for Flying Dogs. Obviously with
Giggity.
the relationship
Giggity.
to the Bay guys,
Giggity,
just
giggity,
because of the
giggity,
relationship,
giggity.
the oyster thing. You know,
Is that what it is?
But we do have some Gonzo kegs still. You'll see in the market a little bit still. But
Cool.
that's obviously the Hunter S. Thompson tribute beer.
Yeah.
That was the infamous OK Let's Party.
Yeah.
So you talked about being a beer rep for many, many years now.
Yes,
What-
sir.
What did you do before Flying Dog?
I was a sales rep at Chesbay. That's when I dealt with Jason and others, along with some other jobs at Chesbay. Before that, I was at Pepsi for about 5 years. Before that, I was Hoffman for 6 years, and Chesbay a few years before that. I wear it well, but I'm kind of old.
Are you a foodie as well? Obviously, you're into beer.
Have
we
you
love
seen my
that.
belly? It ain't just beer.
Yeah.
I'm a
He
huge-
didn't run here.
Oh, no, he didn't run here.
I'm
No.
a huge foodie. Man. One, I love supporting locals.
Yes, you do.
I love the spin on local food.
Well, that's a good one as well. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
That's
now-
not
now-
fair, man.
Now we're getting into the hard questions, and like
I
you're
know-
gonna have to make some decisions
So-
here.
I know certain.
Man.
I know certain places is gonna get mad if you don't say his name.
Yeah, there's anybody that knows me can kind of my social media illustrates some of my ideal go-tos.
No, I mean, I love your social media because you definitely support the local businesses, and I mean, I see it. Like, you're always posting your lunches and all that stuff, and like, man, that food looks fucking amazing.
So I'll just kind of run a list, and it's just because there's
in no particular order.
Any true foodie will tell you what mood am I in, just like a beer, just like a hunger. What mood am I in? I love, like, you got great places like CP Shuckers, Harpoons, 1608 is dear to my heart. Union Ale House. You get into Norfolk. Who doesn't love 80/20? Who doesn't love Dirty Buffalo? Lindy's Wings, man. Kent, good God.
Dude, Kent, I know Kent personally.
So do I, unfortunately.
Kent, how was that sauce, by the way?
I've known Kent for 20 plus years from when I was a little stick boy at Admiral. Like, Kent's great people. You got Lucky Oyster. I can just keep going round and round.
See, this is going to make
McGrath's,
the next question
Tappets.
harder.
Yeah, the next question's going to be even harder, man.
Because if you had picked one restaurant, this would have been simpler. But now you've got a wide variety to choose from.
We're going to taste this beer before we start busting his balls too much.
So this one is, as my man called out earlier, this is our commemorative beer. To really make us feel old, it's 40-year anniversary of Caddyshack this year.
And before you drink it, you must go. No.
So I'll leave this to pass around if you want some more of this one.
It's fucking delicious.
So basically, we just started throwing an idea around to do kind of like a shout out to Caddyshack and everything else. They threw around some other ideas that were trademarked and this or that, and we kind of ran with a tribute to the infamous hat the judge wore in the golf shop. With just a clean, crisp pale ale. I mean, it's just no bells and whistles.
I'm going to throw a question at him that's not on your list because
Come on.
You know a lot about beer.
Not really. Yes and no. So the science, I'm not the
we got a little freedom.
America.
That hasn't happened in a while. Nope. But
Budgets, man.
so what I really enjoy about this is it does not smell like cat piss. And maybe you know what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Well, no, like when you get into those beers and it's like that, there's a hop.
Jason, we've been trying to narrow it down, and we haven't quite figured it out. But there is a hop Jason absolutely fucking despises.
There's something, man. And
We think it's Vic or Victra hop that he does not like.
It makes the beer smell like cat piss, and then the back end, it has like this weird aftertaste that I'm just not a fan of. And I always I give every beer the benefit of the doubt. You know, I give every beer the benefit of the doubt. But when I get in there and I smell it first, like it, oh fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
You're gonna call that? Nobody peed in our pool, man. Nobody peed in our pool. Hold on.
That's a different game.
That's a different story. That's a different one right there.
Right.
Pool hopping we did on the podcast last week, and Jason just wasn't a fan.
I didn't feel it.
It's
man.
fucking delicious.
I know. I see it floating in there right now, and
I don't know why you're looking. It's not.
Hey, I'll take all of it if you want.
I'm gonna give it a second shot because I believe you should try anything twice. So.
That's what they told you. Nah.
All right, so back.
Oh, he's pulled it out already. Let's fucking do it, man. Like,
Yes. Yay!
I'm down.
Yay!
On to our next question while you pour.
Yeah,
Jason, let's do new cups on this one just because I don't want it to
contaminate.
I don't want it to. I want to give it a. Because last time we did it, it was like the 5th beer and we were on the same cup.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
That's true.
So I'm gonna give it a fresh cup, give it a fresh outlook.
While you pour. And again, you named a lot of restaurants. This is going to be tough.
Right.
What is your favorite dish?
Oh yeah, that's.
Good
Come
luck,
on, man.
Good luck.
I'm fat, so you can give me a Chicho's pizza any day, and I'm in.
Spicy sauce?
Of course. Silly question.
Really? Did you really ask?
All right, so we'll get away from restaurants now. Like, what's your weekly go-to meal?
Honestly, if I tied it down,
you're cooking.
this is cool. I don't cook that much. Time is the essence. Now I'm a sandwich junkie. In any form, warm, cold, anything in between. I'll try a form of sandwiches. So anytime I can catch a cool sandwich special, we always joke like. I used to live right up the street from 1608, so I was there almost every weekend just because I'd crawl out of bed, I need food. He'd have you'd be laying in bed dying.
So your refrigerator is just full of condiments.
It's that hangover cure is what I'm hearing.
It would be that pretzel.
Yeah.
I get one every Friday and
the
eat it drunk during the weekend.
Oh God, yes.
But so one of the coolest stories to that sandwich thing is he has a fried green tomato BLT that is phenomenal, and it just so happened that one day we went there. We're all feeling good. However you PC. And he had just got. It was the first day of soft
You do
shells.
not have to be PC here unless you're worried about your job.
It was like no. Do you know where I work?
They let you come here. That says enough.
It's yeah. So it was just one of those. He had just gotten soft shell crabs. I was head set on hungover. I wanted a BLT. Next thing you know, we have this. No lie, tall as that 60-ounce can, if not more. We threw a soft shell crab on a fried green tomato BLT.
Oh, God.
And just like started building this thing. It was like a $32 sandwich. But it was so good. We did it again Sunday.
Yes.
We went back he's like, I got a couple more. We were just back. So like anytime I can catch a special like that. Seaside Raw Bar.
How much was your lunch? $64. We just had sandwiches.
No. Y'all know how much craft beers get by the singles.
Yeah.
And he keeps one of the best selections locally with love to local, regional, national. If it's a good beer, he'll
$400 weekend.
We split a tab one time on a going away bar. We had to split it down the middle. But
Servers like share everything.
I'm a sucker for a special sandwich. Like Seaside Raw Bar was doing this during the quarantine. Everybody's getting creative.
I love Seaside. I haven't been there forever.
That's one of my favorite little dive bars.
I used to work across the street at 21st Street Holiday Inn.
Okay. Oh,
and so
Sunscreen.
like I would.
Sunscreen? No,
it's the
that was the other.
Oceanside.
Okay.
But I used to walk across the street, like after work. That was like my go-to spot, like because you got the block over there, and that's way too much. Seaside's like just that little tucked-in door, man. You slide right in there, man.
And they were just doing this steamed shrimp po' boy. Like everybody, I'm a sucker for specials. Give me something outside because obviously in our job we eat out so much and so many things. If you can just throw me a special that catches my eye, makes me feel warm and fuzzy, I'm in.
Wait for the food truck. We'll hit you up every week.
I know, right?
Hey, I'm a Redwood Smokehouse. I'm sure y'all been to Redwood. Like that little feast mode he did, and then there's just so many good food spots.
All right, well let's give this beer a second chance here, Jason. Let's see what your review is this time. Yo.
So while he's tasting it, this beer actually we went through, like I mentioned earlier, we went through our whole summer forecast at Flying Dog in like a month and a half, maybe a little more. In this area, we did it in 7 weeks. And we originally over doubled our forecast. We ended up getting in the market. It still blew out in 7 weeks. And
Sorry, I love you, Jason. I love Flying Dog, but
it's
I can't.
Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about. This shit's delicious.
See, I have an amendment here. Like, I don't think it's a bad beer, but I will say, I kind of, like, last week you made, like, a chlorine comment, and I feel like if I was swimming in the pool, this would just go way better. Because then, like, I feel, like, you know, I, like, it sounds weird, but, like,
we can go right next door and test this theory. It doesn't smell bad.
No, it doesn't smell, and I don't think it tastes bad. I rated it higher than you did, but
there's something in it that I don't care for. And like, I mean, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Raging Bitch. The truth, like, it's something in this one.
It's delicious.
There's a little brute taste to it too. That's what gives it that dry, clean, mixed with a little hazy, mixed with a little other this hybrid of things we learned that made it this light, refreshing. Really, like, we've had so much success with Thunderpeel in the first year, just over a year. This past April, May. That we wanted something to appeal to both sexes, male and female, lighter, summertime, crushable, beach, water, whatever.
Definitely crushable.
That beer is, you drink a 6-pack of that beer,
in
you're
about
fine.
5 minutes.
Let's say ABV 5.4.
Yeah. So it goes down easy. It doesn't weigh on the stomach. It doesn't hit you in the head or the stomach, and that's always a big thing. That's what was good with Thunderpeel.
Would this be like the Flying Dog bikini beer style kind of shower beer?
You see the baby blue and the pink, right?
Yeah. and like, there's
more Ralph Steadman artwork.
There's just something in this one, man, that I'm not.
That's okay.
He called it sunscreen.
I want to know what it is, though.
We can dig in off there and kind of throw it around. Because obviously you're trying to figure out which certain things triggered your not liking.
We've been trying to figure it out for months. Don't worry.
Okay.
We still can't nail down.
We've done the podcast twice at Casual Pint, hanging out with Chuck, and Chuck couldn't figure it out. Like, and that dude knows beer. Like,
Chuck's fucking amazing with beer.
Good people. Shout out to
Casual Pint, man. We love them.
All the Shellsby's.
So Jason, I got a question for you.
All right.
You have to give up one.
Oh.
Never again can you have chicken wings, pizza, burgers, or tacos. And I'm pretty sure pizza's safe by the
Yeah,
Chicho's
so the
comment
Chicho's
earlier.
comment, pizza's probably safe.
Don't throw.
Yeah, this is Team Fat Kid. We ask the hard questions.
It's not that hard. For me, I love a good burger, but they're not make or break for me.
Oh, you haven't
say
had ours?
taco. Well, no offense. And but you say taco.
But you were just on the sandwich thing.
There's 50 forms of a taco.
I mean, this is true.
There's more than 50.
Well, I'm just see. Thank you. That's what y'all. This is y'all special.
I got tacos inside for you right now if you want them. Like, we made sopes. Like, after this, you're going to eat.
Sweet. But like pizza is pizza, God, and wings. So many
Pizza is
sauces.
God. There you go.
So many sauces.
Wings and pizza,
It's
like,
just-
those go together.
And I had McGrath's burger last night. There's nothing against a good burger. 80-20.
We still have to do that cook-off challenge, by the way.
The PB&J, the nanny at 80-20 is just, it blows your mind with the peanut butter, the jalapeno jelly, and the bourbon peanut butter. It's just, there's so many things, but if I had to, it would, unfortunately.
It would be burgers?
Some people are going to be hating me for that answer.
All right, well, all right. So we're going to jump to your social media because we've covered that you're definitely a foodie and you love beer.
Uh-oh.
You have quite a bit of both on your social media. What do you think has been like your best social media photo or post? You know, you can go either way on that you want to. Did you have a favorite? Did you have one that just like blew the others out of the water?
So, I catch a lot of jokes because I'm a huge person on smiles are contagious. That is my thing. I love it. A good smile, a good laugh. I hate a fake smile in a picture. So a lot of times you see, I have a big head, obviously, so you see me make this, hey, O-face kind of joking. So I always, anything like that where you can get a genuine, see, I didn't want to fake it. But if,
That's all right. He took the photo late anyway.
there's just some, I don't know on that one.
Hey, we can move on.
No. It's just there's some great ones. I love genuine moments. I love genuine food. I love supporting friends. I get a lot of support. I'm blessed that Flying Dog makes great beer, so my sales job is easy, but people still give you support on everything. Man, there's some tough ones there.
All right, well, we're going to move into something a little bit different, and again, this is going to be tough, but what's your favorite style of beer?
I'm a lager guy.
Yeah?
That's
Lager
not-
guy?
yeah,
That one was easy, apparently.
Well, I mean, like, if you know, you know.
There's 50 variations. Numero uno is one. We don't carry it in package down here. That's why I'm destroying this SPF fact. Numero uno, our Mexican lager, it's brewed with lime and agave in it. It's so clean. It's 4.9%. It is just.
I was at Casual Pint and I was drinking that.
That kind of knocks out.
Because it was number one on their menu.
That kind of knocks
And
out
I
one
was
of my
like,
next
I'll have
questions.
one numero
That's
uno.
funny. That's funny. Yeah.
What's your favorite flying
Use your words. Use your words.
What is your favorite Flying Dog beer? Is it what you just mentioned?
That's tricky. Truth.
The Truth?
Truth and Uno probably. Are my two main mainstream ones.
I'm a big Truth fan. I'm not gonna
Truth
lie.
is just. Whew. And it's 8.7
concur.
and it hurts. It goes down so smooth.
That's the problem. It feels good, and then you feel it.
So we're throwing around like Flying Dog hides the alcohol really. Our brewers are. I love those guys. Insane.
You guys make some pretty good jerky too. I'm not gonna
They're,
lie. You got some ghost pepper jerky. That's pretty
what?
good.
See, I missed out on this Reaper thing.
I
But
didn't hear about that.
there's
Oh, that
actually
was an airport trip. Don't worry.
we're throwing around. They've been playing with a triple dog actually. That hopefully will be out this fall winter. That's coming in between 16-18%.
I was gonna say I'm afraid. That sounds like a worldwide or fucking.
Yeah.
It's just like a
120.
dogfish night. Yeah.
Yeah.
120, like so.
Getting up there.
I saw you reach down.
Yeah,
Just
well,
go ahead and pull it out. Let's do
so,
it. Whatever you think.
I do got a good seasoning. It's wrapping up, so you won't be able to find it in the market. But they had
Booyah, bitches.
they had a sample bottle of this, so I had to.
So obviously this isn't whiny bitch.
This is this is Tropical Bitch. So
Tropical
Raging
Bitch.
Bitch until last July, Truth passed it kind of as our number one. Raging Bitch is it's a great beer for us. It's its 10th year anniversary on that. Last year we did a Tropical Bitch and did it again this year. So you basically get, if y'all know about Raging Bitch,
I'm a fan.
it's a Belgian yeast on an American style IPA. So you get the sharp hoppiness of this American IPA on the funky fruitiness of the Belgian yeast. So you get so much going on. And then now we just threw guava, pineapple, tangerine in it to where you get this fruit bomb on top of everything else. It's a lot. But this beer did so well for
It
us
smells
last year.
delicious.
There's some more.
That's like,
That's kind of a
I don't
fun
know if you follow our social media, but we do like what we call beer booms, and like we do like the boomerangs of the beer labels, and like we post them like every day.
Actually seen,
and like so. Like we're gonna do all these too and tag Flying Dog. You know,
yeah.
like,
Oh yes, that is delicious.
That does smell fantastic.
It's almost got like a spicy smell to it. It doesn't have a spicy taste, but it's got like a.
You're
almost,
gonna get that from the Belgian
that-
side, that funkiness.
Yeah.
Just to say, Flying Dog is one of the main things that I actually one of the main brewers that I like IPAs from.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
a stout man.
Yeah, he does not like IPAs, but every time we bust out a Flying Dog, he does enjoy them.
Okay.
Like,
Every time.
this is good.
It's
Did you,
delicious.
Did you catch the mint condition last year? So the Mayamo cookies and cream was nuts for us.
Yeah.
So we actually brought some
I remember
nitro kegs of the cookies and cream in, and they went so quick. So it added that creaminess to it. It's
I
so
remember
good.
the mole stout from last year. That shit was delicious.
Yeah, it had it.
We actually had it on a hops roulette too.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, like it. And when we play the game, and I'm sure you've heard, like we have no idea what the hell we're drinking. Like Alex, like pours it between his legs.
Well, that sounds weird, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it does sound weird. You got to be here. But anyway,
Just
like,
had a
you gotta
social
be
media
here.
one where they did the 40 roulette. They took a bunch of 24-ounce cans and threw them in brown bags, twisted them, and threw them in a pile, and you had to pull.
Oh, I saw that,
It was
yeah.
like Twisted Tea, Four Locos, Steel
Yeah.
Reserve.
They had like White Claw.
Negro, Modelo. Like it was. Well, yeah, White Claw was. It
I
was.
said we did Fat Kid 40 hands here, but you know, it's like
I like the twist. I like
yeah,
the twist.
Fat Kid
actually.
40 hands. So we took Dennis and Dooley, and we taped two 40s.
What's your favorite 40? You got to go High Life.
I
Thank
had
you
the
for the
highlights.
High Life.
The
Yes.
High Life, man.
I had a High Life and then a.
I don't do 40s.
See, here's the problem.
It's as big as you are, bro.
Dennis went with two separate beers.
I did two different
Nice.
beers. Yeah,
Dooley decided it would just be better to go with.
Bud Ice.
Yeah, he did two
That's-
Bud Ice.
so-
And so you had to finish them both. We would untape. You couldn't get up, but we would untape the hand that you finished. Dooley was switching off between two beers, but Dooley can chug a 40.
Quickly.
I did two in
Nice.
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
That's still
two-
strong.
Yeah.
I was a little Norfolk punk kid growing up, so I was all over Bud Ice and Ice House.
At the,
Those are
same,
my.
at the same time, though,
My man.
at the same time, Dooley got lucky as shit because they didn't. You can't find PBR in fucking 40s around here. So, because he knows for a fact if I had two 40s of PBR in me,
You probably could have
it-
got a Mickey's though.
But isn't that kind of like stacking the deck because your body's used to you can chug what you know. You got to chug
True,
something
true.
you don't, man.
That is true.
I mean, look, this could be a challenge,
Well,
motherfucker.
he-
I will empty a
that's
40
all he
and
would
fill
drink
it with
was
fucking
Bud Ice.
PBR.
It's a new
40s.
post for all about the chugs.
Right? I will empty
There
a
you
40
go.
and fill it with PBR. Let's find out.
Hey, we did.
Man, that thing, there are some
That
some,
shit
some
blew up
beasts up
fast,
there.
like-
Like there's some
There's some
What's
interesting
the latest one? The girl, she's a rep, I think, for 21st Amendment. Bailey, she's got like blue hair.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
I know
know.
who
It
you're
was,
talking
it was
about,
the
yeah.
one girl, Joanna. She was just.
She was-
I look at her drinking. I'm just like, where does it go? When you're like, like that little girl was just an animal.
She was nonstop.
Yeah.
Dude, she be put up like what 8 or 9 posts.
I don't think
in
she
a
ever
night.
got above number 2 though. She kept posting her rank, and I don't
I-
think she ever got above number 2.
I can't. I don't chug like that. Like you saw me. Like your shit came out my fucking nose halfway through, and then
So I did a night putting on the day of the master when the masters was supposed to be. So I did that kind of as a fun, cool. I've done a pool hopping up there, and then I did a Modelo. Shout outs to the Constellation guys because Modelo's a go-to for me. I love some Modelo's, just clean
So yeah,
day
It's
drinking.
like so you like Modelo or like Modelo Negro,
just
like,
regular Modelo.
Just regular?
man, yeah.
I,
Negro's good on draft. If you
Yeah.
can get that on draft, Pacifico actually. Pacifico on draft, strong. That's one of those beers that just it's different.
yes, it is.
Air rate's different and all that good stuff.
All right, so I got a question
yeah,
for you.
All right.
we're kind of. This is what happens. Like we sway off topic all the time.
I enjoy these kind of podcasts. It's a real conversation.
Yeah, we're
I'm good with that.
just bullshitting.
So, you've already stated that you like working for Flying Dog because obviously they give you some freedoms that you might not have otherwise. But if you weren't working at Flying Dog, what brewery or rep station would you prefer? Is there another brewery that you're just like, dude, I that's awesome? Or
We also don't want you to get in trouble.
No. It's
Wait, well,
I've always sold beer, so I love it. Like I've always sold beverages, but beer has always been my heart kind of. I left. If y'all know about Chesway Distributing, it's part of the Reyes network. Reyes Distributing is the largest distributor in the country. They are huge, and you look at that going, this is a great company. And I had their blessing and support for this job, when it was coming about. So it wasn't like that. They knew the whole process. They recommended, supported, so on. I wouldn't have just left for any brewery. There's maybe 2 or 3 that were distinguished enough and just I was a fan of. I sold a lot of Flying Dog when I was a rep, just because I love the beers, love the brewery, the message, the history, and since being here, it's just concreted in the people, the foundation, the company. Like, unfortunately, something like COVID comes along that devastates
fucked everything
business, man. And to watch how Flying Dog has just been the best they could and do everything they can within to support us and still be on the streets. And, you know, they were challenging us to do, you know, to help in any way we can and do these random acts of kindness. So they were supporting me. I was going out doing gift certificates just to help feed like service industry people.
Yeah, I remember those posts. Yeah.
So those, and they had my back in that. I got up at like 3 a.m. and went and fed the Ches Bay drivers and the night warehouse guys and just took them Wawa biscuits and just and Flying Dog has just been like, cool, sounds great, that's phenomenal, great idea, you know. And to support me like that, it's made me so much more comfortable where I'm at. And there's times where where your question to get back to that is, would I ever leave for anything else? And you're like, I don't think I could now. The emotional side and the vesting, because there's other companies where you may, you know, like you have like a Sam Adams, a Constellation, and these big companies where you could possibly make more money, and it's like you're always going to want more money no matter what you make.
Yeah, but like at the end, like the feel good.
Right, and it's this. I always joke about it. My boss gets mad about being on an island down here because obviously Flying Dog's in Frederick, Maryland. They never let me feel like that. It's a family and it's strong.
Why would they say it's an island? I feel like Flying Dog does really well here.
We are a fucking island, bro. There's bridges and tunnels to get everywhere.
Touche. This is the farthest south Flying Dog's ever had a rep, like a market rep. So it's always been the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. So this is the first time they put a rep this far south, and no pressure though, right?
Not zero pressure.
So it was cool to have that you know, that support, and they just.
Hey, we might bring you like 6 more followers, man.
I do want to ask about the Flying Dog distribution. Like,
okay.
how far are they distributing? Like, are they down in Florida, like Louisiana?
So,
like, where? How far does it go?
I'm not going to tell the dates because I'm off on that, but I think it was maybe 2008. We were in 48 states, and so you're stretched so thin that they pulled back, condensed in the kind of the Mid-Atlantic and the East Coast. And our CEO, Jim Caruso, who's a brilliant man, like, he just thinks different. It's just, he's always thinking. And he wanted, him and Ben Savage and them, we dug our roots in the Mid-Atlantic. And from here through New York City and so on, it's just deep roots, like DC, Maryland, Philly, Jersey, all those places. So we're now, like, we put a rep in Ohio this year. That's kind of going back. We had condensed so far that we're back in. I think we're up to 28 states again, 20-something countries.
Nice.
So stuff like that, and they just wanted to focus. Y'all been around the business long enough to know that some distributors or some breweries have stretched themselves so thin they do damage to themselves and have to pull back. And
I don't want to talk shit, but Green Flash.
No, it's true. I mean, they took on a lot.
You know what? We want to do our opening here, and I'm not going to talk shit. But Young Veterans had a fucking issue. This is years ago now, probably like 4 years ago, where their Hefeweizen, they were sending it out too soon.
Pineapple grenade.
And they were sending it out too soon, man. It just wasn't fucking ready. Like, I feel like demand was so high, they were trying to produce, and I stopped carrying it. Like,
they got a raw deal over there too, because there's some good people.
They got some good beer.
They do, and they went through some hiccups, and they bounced back from it. And
they did.
They bounced back and got knocked back down again with the Navy, and then they're back and they're producing. Have you seen the label for their little? It's the turtles on it. They're hazy with the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
I was like, marketing genius. I'm like,
no, like I know exactly what you're talking about. And like we're fans of Young Veterans, just because. I mean, not just because they're veterans, but we support veterans. But we are huge into that, and we.
What was it called?
It's here. I got
just type in beer, Dooley, and then go to images.
Young Veteran Brewery. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about hazy on a
there
half shell?
There you go.
Are you talking about the hazy on a half shell?
That's it.
Yeah.
Damn, he's good, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Dennis, that's why we have Dennis around. Yeah, the different colors. The first one.
No, it's not even that one. No, it's from Young Vets Brewery. It's on sale right now.
Oh, they did release already?
I believe it released it last week. Yeah.
It's a must-have. It's like you got to.
Like that's like one you save.
There's one I went to go get the Pinkies Up one because of a certain person over here.
That is fucking.
Chase is not paying attention.
No, I quit because which Jason?
Yeah.
This has been confusing all
He
day.
said Piggy's up. I
they
was
call me
waiting for
Jughead,
Piggy's out
so-
to come up. And,
Piggy's up.
You can use the Jughead.
Well,
How about that? That's
yeah.
different.
Like, well, like,
There you go.
Dooley didn't have me turned up anyway, so
Now you are. There you
it's
go.
too late now.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Like,
Never
I
too late.
know you got another selection.
So, besides the rest is just core. So I have some Truth, some
Well,
Double Dog, some Thunderpeel.
Well, double dog.
Ooh.
I double dog dare you.
I don't dare you.
I
So-
double dog dare you.
This beer is a monster in
Yay.
herself. I challenged myself a couple weeks ago during quarantine to drink a 6-pack just because I could, just to say I could. And
During quarantine's probably a good idea.
yeah, I regretted it.
I'm not going anywhere any fucking way.
About number 4, I regretted it.
Number 2, you were probably thinking about
It's
it.
like
So you brought something up earlier that I want to discuss because I think this came up a week or two ago. You mentioned Sam Adams.
Yeah.
A week or two ago?
Well, no, I mentioned Sam Adams a week or two ago, but you mentioned Sam Adams. Do you feel like Sam Adams is still considered a craft beer?
why isn't it? So a lot of people don't realize, and this is strictly Jason King Jughead's opinion, not Flying Dogs.
Good, yes.
Let's make that clear.
Yeah, no, it's, if you really research into it and you know what Jim Cook has done to promote local independent craft, he has always supported. There was a time during craft there was hop shortages where he sold back hops from Sam Adams to help independents be able to still get their stuff going, because I'll never be mad at another brewery that makes a great beer because it challenges us to be better, and we all like good beer. So Sam Adams is Sam Adams. They're the reason. Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada, Anchor. Those are the reason we have craft beer nowadays. They're they streamlined it for everybody. They didn't quit on it. A lot of people talk about like Dogfish selling out. I personally, this is mine, not Flying Dog. Like, how do you get mad at that? Like, Sam Adams has done really well with just because it's under an umbrella doesn't mean, like, Twisted Tea is Twisted Tea, Truly is Truly. Dogfish will never change. Same, what's it, Carciotti? Is that it?
All right, so we real fast. I don't have to interrupt you, but we're talking about like selling out and like our local what is it, Devil's Backbone.
How do you get mad at them?
How do you get mad at them?
They still make great beer.
How do you get mad at him for making a good beer?
Right, and
It was so good we sold out.
Yeah, they were so good
Well,
that somebody wanted to buy you.
I don't say it's selling out. It's breweries get to a point where they have to make a decision, and all that changed with AB InBev buying them was they can get any hop, if their mastermind brewer needs an asset or an ingredient or anything, they've got the best. They have the ways to get it. Yeah, they said, like, I heard on one of the podcasts with one of the main guys that Devil's Backbone did with our CMO, they were saying, it's like, one of the stipulations was they wanted to still brew in Williamsburg. They wanted to brew in Virginia. That's awesome. It's still Virginia. It's great beer. I went to Wicked Weed last fall. Wicked Weed is still Wicked Weed. Wicked Weed could never distribute to people. They couldn't keep up. They were so small. They're still spitting out phenomenal beer. Their sour program, stuff like that is just, it's crazy. It challenges. People get a little too headstrong into that, I think.
No, I mean, I agree with you. Like, we had the privilege when we were in California doing the TV show to go and see Sculpin.
The original Ballast Point?
Ballast Point. Sculpin's just the hallmark beer. It's like rollerblades. But we got to go to Ballast Point and hang out and like see and they we were in like their private room, and they actually if you work there for a year, like even like a bartender, you have the opportunity to go and create a beer, and they'll put it in this tap room and see how it does, and like you could reap the reward of them mass producing it.
Sounds like Brewhouse Rarities.
Yeah, and I was like,
Right?
exactly what you were talking about earlier, and but we had the opportunity to go see it, and we had a bunch of
Keep swiping left until you see.
we had a bunch of one-off beers in we'll never see again, and they just kept giving them to us because
I really feel like the one-offs and the mini brew houses, like the experimental ones, like a lot of large companies now have mini brew houses with 15 or 30 barrels where they experiment, and
That's what we do. We run test batches in our brewery all the time.
Trapezium. I'm going to shout them out. I went up there a couple years ago, and the rep was like, if you ever stop in, let me know.
Kurt is awesome. He's a good dude.
He wasn't there, but
he's awesome.
I texted him. He was like, I'll let the manager know.
Their
and they had
lager
dude, they had this 5-gallon brew. It was a briny melon. I believe it was like not a cantaloupe. What's the other one? Fucking honeydew. It's a briny honeydew melon sour IPA. And, dude, it was fucking phenomenal. I had a glass, and I was like, can I get a growler? And, like, the bartender was like, I don't think we can do that.
It's only 5 gallons, bro.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. And, like, so he had to go get the manager, and the manager came back and was like, yeah, Kurt told me to hook you up. So, like, yes, it's going to be a little expensive. I was like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, this shit's fucking banging. I'm taking it home.
That's
like, 3
right.
hours away, it's coming with me.
It might not make it the week, but it's coming.
Yeah, that small batch stuff, though, like, sometimes those experimental beers, man, like, I wish you could find a way to really amp them up sometimes. I know some of them aren't so popular, but, like, those one-off batches, you get some great surprises.
It's like I was talking about that 7-pot earlier. That was an idea concept because of the rave about the In Heat Wheat 12-pack. The breweries, the tap rooms are the best places to try something because of the buzz you create.
We were looking at that earlier, like the 7-pot.
That was the one I was telling you about that they were playing with around before COVID.
Brewery, though, so.
It was. It's the test batch. They're pilot batching it, kind of playing with it, seeing what the buzz is. Like something like the Fruit Punch Sour was done as a brewhouse rarity concept, but the buzz it created in the brewery, they gave it artwork, a name, and its own UPC. So that's the best way to test is like there's great local places around here. Like our brewery, we're lucky. But like O'Connor's they're changing their game a little bit. They're not just relying on Guapo. Shout out to Liz and Kane and Kevin.
I love Guapo.
They're challenging like
hip hop with numbers.
Yeah,
that was great
so
too.
Fun, so fun on a silly play. But like you have those, you have New Realm's had some good ones lately. Like they're playing Virginia Beer Company out in Williamsburg. Yeah, them boys are constantly putting out bangers, and it just makes us to where now it's like cool because I get to bring our toys down here and just be like my race car is as fast as yours. So it's fun because in the end we all like good beers, and if you kind of. If they're making good beers, it challenges you to have good beer. It challenges you to figure out a way to sell your good beers.
Sure.
And it's all
inside that cooler is the one
we all want to try.
Before we move on to that, we didn't cover the Double Dog. We've all drank it at this point.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was down.
Surprisingly smooth. I mean, like you can tell it's got some
12%.
Kick. You can tell it's got some kick, but surprisingly smooth overall. Almost like an amber finish.
So there's actually we carry that. We originally did it for a group called Bus Boys and Poets up in Northern VA and DC. It's a chain, 8 locations. But the Grain.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that shit. Yeah.
So there's the Grain, Cogan's North. Some of the other places, not casual, what's that pint? There's some other places rotated in, 80-20 rotates it in, but the Grain and Cogan's carry full time. We have that on nitro.
Damn.
So imagine that smooth with a nitro cream, and it's just not.
Yeah.
I started my night one night with a couple and lost my wallet that night. Like, but I lived across the street at the time, so it wasn't bad. But it was just like, man, that beer is so good, and it's just on such a tear right now, especially over the quarantine. People are trying it.
I was about to say because it's
when you're stuck at home, you say
and keg on there.
Yeah, it's the nitro. Nitro is a game changer.
Oh, it is.
So you did 4 of these before you called it quits?
No, I did the whole 6-pack.
Oh yeah.
I regretted it at number 4.
Round of applause for you.
It was not a proud moment the next day. There was no amount of water, Pedialyte, nothing. It was. But that's the equivalent of like an 18-pack.
I need all the Gatorade.
Yeah, give it to me.
All right, so I think we're going to take this moment and do a quick commercial.
Yeah, that's fine. This podcast is brought to you in affiliation with Stitcher Podcast Radio. Head on over to Stitcher.com/premium and sign up today for only $4.99 a month. Use promo code TeamFatKid for get 1 month absolutely free. Stream and download all your favorite podcasts, such as this one, Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, Wolverine, The Lost Trail, Alex's Favorite, Bitch Sesh. You get the Fantasy Footballers, Science Rules with Bill Nye, and many, many more. We're talking 21,000 premium hours of podcasting. That is 2.4 years. You get all the bonus episodes. You get the ad-free shows. You get Dooley's favorite 300-plus comedy albums. You can check out all the new releases before they come out. And just remember, all you have to do is head on over to Stitcher.com/premium, sign up, and use the promo code TeamFatKid. Test it out for a month, absolutely free on us. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
We back?
Yeah, we're back. Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry, a little off. So the Dead Rise.
Actually, I feel like we were right on. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, let me touch this one up.
Let's spin it around. Do you have another one? Let's do
Well, I just put
peel.
these-
Let's do the peel.
We can do Thunder Peel.
Yeah, let's do the Thunder
So-
Peel, and then we'll do the Dead Rise, because the Dead Rise is like one of those ones for me that it's definitely a regional thing.
Well, I love the name Dead Rise, which
Yeah.
refers to a boat type.
Yeah, but
I don't know if you call it. So that one should be one dear to y'all's heart, being
yeah, like it's
food connoisseurs and
I think it's more regional though. Like I don't know if does the spice travel around the country?
Even if Old Bay doesn't, I've seen numerous knockoffs of Old Bay spice that are just a little off and a little something different, like seafood spices, and it's really similar.
I got rid of cups.
Yeah,
because
so
we were gonna.
because I know like at the depot, does everybody got
Everybody
one?
got one?
Yep, I think so.
So I think this
Christian.
is one of my favorites.
So
yeah.
we actually just launched it in
Never mind.
16-ounce cans about a little over a month ago, just to kind of just have the pounders for the. It was lined up to be with venues and sporting events and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and obviously
That didn't work
fuck
out.
COVID.
So I'm not gonna lie, for a
actually don't
flying
think
dog IPA, it's a little low on the ABV.
So the
No,
goal
I think the flavor is there, and it's like I
I'm
can
just
have
talking-
more than two at a bar.
I'm just talking about percentage because we know Flying Dog. I love Flying Dog because of the high percentage. I'm not gonna lie. I can't drink a lot of beer. I can't burp.
Right.
So like a 6-pack would kill
said
me.
you can't
I
burp?
can't.
He farts his ass off though.
Yes, he does.
Be happy for all the fans.
Fans for your pleasure.
I could chug a 6-pack and I'll just like have a stomachache. I'll double over in pain. I cannot fucking burp. But I like high ABV beers
Right.
because I can drink fewer and still feel good.
See, I'm the other way. I like a great flavored beer with a lower ABV so that I can hang out longer.
Yeah.
So this
Well-
is a good meet in the middle here, though.
And that
It's
was the goal.
6.2.
The goal was to meet in the middle. Like, if you know hazies, you know IPAs, they're usually 7s and 8s. They hang up in the higher range. We wanted something that still was a hazy, but give you all that juicy fruity, but not hit you in the head and the stomach. This was our original before G thing and pool hopping where we got it. Like, you drink a pint of this off draft, and it just everything hits you in the nose. It hits you in the mouth. It's just you can have a few without feeling bloated. I can still eat, being a foodie and a fat kid.
I've actually never had a Thunder Peel, and this is really fucking good.
This one has the hop that I don't like, but it's minimal. Like I can taste
The
it in the back.
Citra.
So,
Well,
so
you got to remember
Citra.
there's brew hopping and dry hopping in this, so the hop could
there's the aftertaste. It doesn't have the cat piss smells. It's the aftertaste that I feel.
So sweet
So
to me.
this one has we're hunting this down. Like this one, but it's not off-putting enough that like I like this beer, but it's not off-putting enough for me to stop drinking it. But let's be honest, if it's beer and this is what it is, I'm gonna drink it.
And Jason, just so you know, it's brewed with Citra, Galaxy, and Mosaic. So it doesn't have your...
Not the Victra hop, yeah.
So
Could
there's
be
Citra.
Citra or Mosaic then.
well, shit, man. Then we didn't narrow anything down.
Probably Citra.
You know how many hops there are? Like,
About
Jason,
1,000.
do you know how many hops there are?
nope, because it changes. There's so many now that it's like weed. There's hybrids and in between. Like we're taking.
What are you talking about?
We have a part. Come on, man. We're working on a THC beer with G Leaf.
I mean,
Oh,
you are
shit,
out of
really?
Colorado.
Hop
That's not at all
Google
surprising.
Hop Chronic.
Oh shit!
Google what?
Hop Chronic.
Damn it, Dooley.
But we have a partnership with the University of Maryland where they're growing hops in our climate and our atmosphere on this East Coast and everything. But they're taking like West Coast hops up in the Northwest, you know, and they're taking German hops and everything.
So
and the
they're
profiles
greenhousing it, and they're
just
making it.
it's
Hold
not
on.
it's not even greenhouse. It's
Let
on
me
the
get this
mountain.
straight though. You guys are based out of fucking Colorado, and the Maryland Brew House is the one doing the fucking.
They're not. They
we
were.
closed in 2006
Okay.
They were.
or 2008. sorry.
Okay. I was about to say, what the fuck? You like, you got the wrong state going on here. But I mean, hey, whatever works.
They're still playing around with this. G Leaf has a office headquarters or something across the street from us, so there's a lot of partnership stuff with them.
Non-alcoholic
Hey,
beers, though.
we're down with partnering with.
You'll
you
be
know,
just fine, I promise. Dude.
Yeah. There's no ABV. Like so, that's a whole new game.
It is.
Like then now you got to judge the THC level.
I was gonna say, does it change to like the HBV,
yeah,
the high
like,
beverage
and hops
velocity?
roulette. Hops roulette changes things. Like
I like that. The quote right there from the CEO, for people who don't want to smoke, don't want to vape, there's like no path experiencing for the therapeutic benefits, like just drink the shit.
I don't want to eat that brownie, but I'll drink that beer. It's zero.
Whatever do you mean?
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
Now I'm really curious. What's the delay time on that? Like, do you get drunk before you get high? Because I feel like that would happen.
Well, it's 0 ABV, so you're not going to get drunk.
It would be almost kind of like you can't by law, like, you have some outright, like some NAs out right now, like, the founder of Blue Moon, King Vila, he sold his shares of Blue Moon to create I think it's Syria, and that was one of the first non-alcoholics. They have, like, Athletic Brewing, like, not NA, they're pretty big up and coming, you hear a lot about, but you got to have an NA before you can put anything in it.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Come on.
No, it's
Fort
like,
Loco could fuck drinks up a long time ago. We should be able to fuck them up now.
It's just like, yo, we gotta get a license plate before the fire marshal will inspect our truck. Like, so, like, it's the same thing. You gotta have a record before you can add anything to it. What else you got, Alex? Like,
No, we ended the question. So now I think we're on Dead Rise at this point.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So here we go.
Brand new cups.
Yeah, do new cups on this one.
Yeah, because this one I've had it.
No, you haven't though. You had the old.
Oh, the old one.
Yeah. So this was a brew house rarity. This came from a brew house rarity concept. The first year they did it. The second year they kind of, you wanted to make it more mainstream to where more people would try it. So they juiced it up as a summer ale. So summer ale is going to add more sweet, more citrus, stuff like that. So this year, and back then, people were scared of words like goza and sour, and obviously over the years we've reverted back to where people are looking for
Is
stuff
that
like
the
that.
correct way to say it?
I don't. Wrong guy.
No one fucking
Yeah,
knows. I
wrong
just
guy for that.
Figured I'd ask. No one fucking knows.
So
That's me.
it's
Now that's Jason. All right.
there's a little more, but
I really like the label on that though.
Yeah.
so we're flaunt. I loved the cans last year. So the cans last year, they had this newspaper looking wrap like you would a table of crabs when you're laying out the crabs, and I loved it. But we obviously have a partnership that we showcase the fact that we work together with Old Bay, McCormick's, and they have some recipes in their book, and we have we flaunt that this is the great ingredient we use in this beer.
That's why the colors are similar and like
It looks just like a can with the red line.
It smells like seafood.
Oh, it's if you don't like Old Bay, you're not gonna like
you're
this.
not gonna like
I
this
fucking
one.
love Old Bay.
You get the Old Bay, you get the lemon, like the Goza. I think played really well.
It's
Like,
cleaner. I think it's cleaner.
It is
Everything
a lot
pops
cleaner.
a lot more.
That
It's
salty
so
kind
prom-
of like sourness was perfect.
That's
sweet.
That is
That's
is really fucking good.
It is delicious.
So there's like 3 beers in here that I want to see what y'all cook with it. Shrimp was great in it. Sauteed some shrimp last year.
Are you
didn't do it
going
this
on
year.
a Team Fat Kid challenge?
I was just
I
gonna say
believe
with
you
I'm
just
just.
did.
I got a cooler beer, I believe. If y'all throw out something fun with the Old Bay, just for
I was just gonna say like how sometimes like you what's that stuff you boil
Use your
crab
words.
legs in beer and everything like that.
like a seafood boil, basically.
Yeah.
Good job,
Throw a
Billy.
shitload of that in there.
So we did.
Hold on,
We
Dooley,
did some events.
Dooley,
last-
you're on fucking Team Fat Kid, and the beer guy fucking got seafood boil. I
Whatever.
Shots fired like a motherfucker.
I'm not on
He's
that
not even
stream,
on that
so
page.
I know.
You might as well switch back to that page and give yourself a shot fire.
I'm gonna give myself a round of applause for being a
give
retard.
yourself the 50 cal.
And then
Everybody, if you're listening to it with
It's a shotgun,
earphones,
sir.
no. Oh, you got rid of
Mr.
it?
Army.
I can't hear it.
So the only thing I want to say is, I could see doing a seafood boil with the Dead Rise, but I am concerned that when boiling down, that Goza might come out too powerful.
I don't think so.
We did
What,
one.
reduction?
We did a patio party at Tap at Grassfield last year, and Chris McGrath, one of the owners, killed it. Shout out to Chris, but it was loaded with like.
We know Chris.
Man, Chris.
We're gonna challenge.
Yeah,
Chris.
we have a burger challenge that's still set to go on.
So,
Like,
anytime I have a brainstorm like that, like. Usually I do my beer orders with Ashley, but if it involves food, I go right to Chris, kind of like get him excited, and then we can sell Ashley on it. Like, so we did a seafood boil last year, and it had the sausages, the corn, the potatoes, the shrimp, all kinds, and it was just all, we kept boiling it with the beer, and then we were taking the beers and letting the bartender do like a chelada, kind of red eye, going half zing zang, half beer with the Old Bay on the rim, and just all the seafood. It was killer. It added subtle flavor. It
it
does.
sounds like a fucking
it was-
party.
Ooh.
And then there was another time we took, so I was able to get while I was up for one of our meetings. Have y'all ever had Cujo, our cold
Yeah,
coffee
yeah.
porter?
Yeah.
It's a shit show beer. It
I'm
sells
pretty sure,
so much.
I'm pretty sure you gave it to me.
There you go. You're welcome. But
I'm pretty sure Dooley was standing beside me when we were sitting behind the bar at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the restaurant was closed.
There
and
you go.
You were giving us beer, man.
Oh,
That
was
Yeah.
I do remember.
Now you remember.
I remember. It all comes back.
It's all coming back.
But then there was another time where Cujo was coming out where he had just done something with the cookers out back at Grassfield. So just going back and forth. Next thing you know, I'm like, I got a hold of 2 bags of the Vigilante coffee we use in Cujo. We crushed it all down and coated this. He had soaked this butt in it in the beer, and then we crusted it with the beans, the actual coffee beans we use in it, and then we made these sandwiches. It was so
It's
good.
ridiculous.
It was so good.
Like when you can't describe it anymore because you're laughing because it was
just-
like it's like, and that's the thing I like about cooking is like it's instant gratification. Like I mean,
Maybe.
brewing
Perks
beer-
of the
brewing-
job. Perks of the job.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't
brewing
go
beer.
instant. Let's face it. Some of our shit takes like fucking 2 days.
Okay, but
That's when you're
okay.
sous
That's
videing.
2 days. But like brewing beer, man, that shit takes months.
Yeah, that's true.
Before,
So what are y'all
before you-
doing on the truck? Just your normal
We-
the
we-
barbecue?
We've got a couple of staples we could discuss. I mean,
Well,
like,
yeah, we honestly like barbecue is not like when you think of Team Fat Kid. Barbecue is we smoke a lot of meats, but it is not.
I just see the logo. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
we do plan on getting a pull behind smoker in the
Yeah,
future.
well, that's
Okay.
like
Right now, it's more about deep fried and fucking our
Like-
our burger.
Well, we're gonna roll and like. Trust me, when you come to the truck, I'll give you a burger because you've got to taste this thing.
All right.
And actually,
For the record, I
I'll give
didn't
you.
say I
I'll
don't
give-
like.
I will. Yeah. Oh,
You said you like Chris McGrath's burger, motherfucker. We're gonna test this shit.
yeah.
That's
Right.
it.
Well, there's so that's not fair because 80-20. I told y'all that nanny.
Oh.
That
That's
nanny-
okay. Wait for the 40-30-30. We're gonna blow the 80-20 out of the
Yeah,
water.
that shit changes lives.
You can have equal levels of amazing, right? Nah.
No,
I can't wait. I can't.
no,
All right,
no,
okay.
no,
Okay.
no,
All right.
no.
Hey, I love that.
I'm extending you the offer to our soft open,
Okay.
and
Let's put it in the phone.
yeah, like I don't know that date yet, but once I will text you
COVID is
Um,
fucking us up.
because
You and a lot of it's all of us.
because it's just a kind of neighborhood party. Like it's for us to kick the tires on the truck,
All right.
and you'll be here, and we'll be right next door with the pool and all that good shit. And
All
like,
right.
like so, you'll definitely get the invite.
So I'll have an Uber that day.
Yeah,
Oh, I would.
yes, I would definitely get an Uber.
Definitely that day. Yes.
But yeah,
I'll
we're,
have to bring some of the new stuff coming.
oh yeah, if you did that, you'll be the life of the party.
I know a guy.
So he did issue a challenge though for this beer. What would you say to making a beer batter for seafood?
With this one,
With that beer, yeah.
shit, man, that's easy.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, like, hey, because it's got the lemon and everything in it already, so you don't.
No, we gotta add stuff, but
I'm a
Oh, yeah,
casual
we're gonna
cook.
add stuff, but
Last year I
still.
did. I just sautéed some shrimp in it, kind of pulled it out, half cooked it, pulled it out, then seasoned it again, and kind of gave it a char on the outside, and they were so juicy. And that was just, I don't know how to cook like that. There's.
I
y'all
feel
on
like there
another
might be a
level.
sous vide involved.
yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
there we
idea.
go.
But of
where-
course, yeah, you don't even know about that.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, you're lucky.
we're
fine
gonna,
with that.
this is your
It's-
opportunity to pitch whatever the hell you want to pitch. You got the time. This is all you. Like, if you want to talk about all about the chugs, if you want to talk about like anything that's coming up, if you want to throw out,
Your social
Flying
media,
Dog?
Flying Dog social media, anything
we
you
definitely
got.
want to get into the Flying Dog social media so,
So-
everybody follows.
I'll actually start with that then, because that's actually one we didn't touch on. But in the past, coming up on a year this November, we added like a videographer to our marketing team, our sales and marketing team. His name's Kyle, man. He's just, if you go on the brewery webpage and just look through the videos, this dude's a mastermind, and he's bringing all the Flying Dog madness and concepts and everything to life. And they're short, minute long, maybe a little longer. There's some great ones there. So Flying Dog Brewery, it's at Flying Dog Brewery on Instagram. I think that's the same at Twitter, flyingdog.com. And then the Facebook's just Flying Dog Brewery. Mine is obviously COVID. We don't have a lot of events, but I keep my social media is loaded with all my events, all my stuff coming up. And that's at Jughead757. So there's still be some stuff. There's some stuff we're working on coming out of this to help. We want to help the customers kind of get some business going as well, the retailers, and some cool ideas being thrown around. So when those come to fruition, I'll definitely keep y'all posted as well. Other than that, just thank you for the opportunity, and thanks Hampton Roads for the love and the beer.
Well,
That's,
thank you, Jason, for joining us, and thank you for Flying Dog for letting you come, because this is not the first brewery we've dealt with on this podcast, and we know that there are definitely
restrictions.
Yeah, they question us.
Yeah.
Flying dogs are our kind of people.
Nah, Flying Dog's pretty awesome. They support. They're big on the freedom of speech. I mean, they founded the First Amendment Society. You can pull that up, actually. That's a cool one.
Delete, you're not done yet.
So, it's so when Flying Dog sued the state of Michigan over Raging Bitch years ago, and all the money that won, they founded the First Amendment Society, and that's nothing to do with the brewery. It's just its own thing. And they fought things like there's a Asian rock band, I think it's a rock band called the Slants. They're trying to trademark the Slants. I guess they helped them get that done. There was a battle with they were trying to pull Harry Potter books because of a cult following from schools and stuff like that. Flying Dog is huge on freedom of speech, freedom of expression. They support you. I mean, as long as it's not sometimes that gets caught up with disrespect. And as long as it's respect, it's all about respect and giving each other who are you and what are you. That's awesome. It's show it, express it, share it.
I mean, we like food and beer.
We love you.
Right?
But yeah, it's cool stuff like that. I feel honored to represent a company like that, because you hear about it before you work for them, and then when you work for them, you get to see that that's the company down to the foundation is based on freedoms like that, and just being able to be yourself and have fun. And I'm a cornball on social media, and they love it. I love beer, they love it.
So I like how after y'all won, y'all got the $40,000, and then it's straight up
That was your fault.
It's Dooley, so damn it, Dooley.
Damn it, Dooley.
It's cool because every once in a while I'll go on and just read, because it's separate from us, so I still have to research it. But I think it's FirstAmendmentSociety.org or gov or com, something like that. But you get to read all the things that they've helped with or reached out with. It's pretty neat to have that support.
Don't know how to spell amendment, Dooley?
Not really, no. We have had a lot
I don't
of
think
beer,
I don't think there's a D in there at the beginning.
It's amendment, not amendment. Yeah, you're fucking this all up.
All right.
We've had beer.
Speak the text.
The
Dooley.
good Flying Dog, man.
I'm already here.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah, all right,
Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Put
I
society.
got fat fingers.
Nah, but it's just something neat. That's a cool one to kind of check out. And definitely watch the social media. The videos are fun.
No, man, I follow them all. Team Packet follows them all. We obviously big fans of what you guys do. I mean, that's just we've always been. I remember, way before I met you.
scroll up. FirstAmendmentCoalition.org. Is that it?
Why are we fighting about this?
I think it was the next one.
The next one?
Yeah.
Dooley fails again.
That one?
What are you doing?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
So many.
All right, so
We'll find it.
Anyways, we'll find it later.
But nah, it's just a cool one to check out.
No, I remember in 2012 I had Raging Bitch on tap, and
You
I
did?
just thought it was the most epic thing ever. And for you guys to be kicking ass like you are.
We did Salty Bitch last year, actually.
Oh.
That's another one coming back, too. That was fun.
that was wasn't that a collaboration, I
It
guess?
was a Chesbait. So we do this competition with Reyes' sister companies, DC, PVA, Premium Virginia, stuff like that. Chesbait's won 2 years in a row, and this past year their concept was Salty Bitch. Kind of like a sea salt goza.
Yeah.
And our brewers got really excited about it and got behind it. Figured out a way after a few test batches, they used the same Belgian yeast in it and everything in a goza. And the artwork was like this dirty sea winch mermaid that looked phenomenal.
Oh, we had a 6-pack.
There you go.
Yeah, we
we was actually set to relaunch in cans this year. Bright teal, sea foam, is it? Something like that. But COVID kind of pushed a lot of those projects off a little bit. But
Yeah.
it'll be back. It was a great beer.
Gotcha. All right, well, again, Jason King, thank you for joining
Thanks a
us.
lot.
From Flying Dog.
Flying Dog!
Flying dog!
Well, that one was way less good than the
Yeah,
first
it was
one.
not as good. All right, let's close this bad boy out.
All right, guys, as always, thank you for listening to Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat. You can find us on Facebook at,
Team Fat Kid,
on Instagram at,
Team Fat Kid Nation,
on Twitter,
at Team Fat Kid 1,
on YouTube at,
Team Fat Kid.
and as always, you can find us online at www.teamfatkidnation.com.
Wait, what about Flying Dog? Jason, do your spiel.
It's true. I don't know if I'm as versed on it. FlyingDogBrewery.com or FlyingDog.com. Facebook at Flying Dog Brewery. Instagram at Flying Dog Brewery. Jason King, Jughead757. That's about it.
All right, guys.
Twitter's Flying Dog Brewery.
You got it all? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't got as many cool ones like y'all. I gotta set my game up.
Guys, as always, thank you for listening to Team Fat Kid Choose Fat. Be hungry.
Stay creative.
Be hungry.
And don't forget to sharpen your knives.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
Praise the Lord.